You've been in the room. The argument starts. Everyone else fills the air, and something in you wants to speak. But there's a man in the corner. He says nothing, and somehow everyone watches him. That's not an accident. That's not shyness. That's power. We've been taught that the loudest voice wins. That confidence means speaking first, speaking often, speaking over. But the Stoics understood something most people still haven't figured out. Silence is not empty. It's full of observation, full of control, full of presence that words would only dilute. Epictetus said it plainly, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." That wasn't a pleasantry. It was a training protocol, a discipline, a daily practice, because every word you don't speak is a test you pass. Every reaction you don't give is a piece of yourself you keep. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still wrote private notes reminding himself to say less, not more. He called unnecessary speech a drain, not just on others, on himself, on the clarity he needed to lead. Think about the men you've met who carry real weight in a room, the ones who feel dangerous without raising their voice. They aren't quiet because they have nothing to say. They're quiet because they know exactly what words cost. When you speak to fill silence, you hand the room your nervousness, your need for approval, your discomfort. When you stay silent, you hand them nothing. And that is deeply unsettling to people who need to read you. Seneca wrote, "If you want to live in peace, mix as little as possible with those who don't think like you. And when you cannot," he said, to say less. Not because their words don't matter, because your reaction is the only thing you control. Most conflict dies in silence. Most manipulation dies in silence. Most insults, when met with silence, lose all their power, because an insult needs a reaction to live. Without one, it dies in the air. The Stoics called this the inner citadel, a fortress in the mind that the outside world cannot enter unless you open the gate. Every time you speak from anger, you open the gate. Every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't deserve the explanation, you open the gate. Practice instead the pause. 1 breath before you answer, 3 beats before you respond to provocation. In that space, you remember who you are. You choose your next move. You stop being reactive and start being deliberate. This is not passivity. Silence requires more strength than shouting. Restraint is harder than release. The man who shouts has already lost. He's told you everything: his frustration, his desperation, his loss of control. The silent man has told you nothing. And that mystery is its own kind of authority. Your silence also protects your plans. The Stoics were students of strategy. They knew what you announce, you invite others to destroy. Move in silence, build in silence. Let results speak while you do not. There's a second form of silence the Stoics prized: interior silence. The quiet mind, not the absence of thought, but the discipline to observe thoughts without becoming them. Most men are never alone with themselves. The phone fills every gap. The noise never stops. And so, neither do the impulses. The man who can sit in silence without reaching for stimulation has already mastered something most never will. If this hits something, subscribe. Every week, one idea that asks more of you. Because you didn't come here to be entertained. You came here to be sharpened. Start small. One conversation today where you say half as much as you want to. One moment of provocation where you say nothing at all. Watch what happens to how people see you. Watch what happens to how you see yourself. The Stoic invitation is quiet, by design. Speak only when your words improve the silence.